All I know is war. All I know is shoot. All I want is more, but I got some things to do. I'm a dog of war. Hell's what I've been through. I'm a dog of war. I did it all for you. I'm a soldier, I'm a warrior. Got an emblem on my cover. And ask me what I did for ya. I put the trash deep down under. Yeah, I'm a dog of war. Hell's what I've been through. I'm a dog of war. I did it all for you, yeah.
Took some time in the place, man, I just needed some space. All the pain show in my face and my heart starts to race. Band of brothers.
Oh, brother, please let us know for last thoughts, our listeners live and on podcast.
All right, we know that I do joke quite often about my attempted escapes from the psych ward, but in all seriousness, the psych ward gang is seriously my idea of representing the military. Representing mental health in the military community. So if you happen to run into any type of mental health crisis or emergency, do not be ashamed nor afraid to dial 988, press option 1. Again, just as I had to do when I was in a moment of crisis, do not be ashamed nor afraid to dial the digits 988, then press option 1 if you find yourself in a similar mental health crisis. Hello, welcome to the show. This is the WarDawg Trail, episode 82. I am your host, Sergeant WarDawg, and I have a great guest for us this afternoon. He is a firearms instructor. He's a gun enthusiast. He is an influencer. But before I bring him to the stage, let's go over some of today's announcements. First off, this show airs every day on the military broadcast radio station, that is MBR Radio. This podcast airs every day from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. So you can catch the video or the audio right here by downloading the MBR Radio app. Remember, Sergeant WarDawg TV is your source for the military, hunting, and outdoors TV with swag. All right, last year we won 2 awards. From Corporate Livewire, we won Veteran Support Nonprofit Organization of the Year. And in the UK, from Acquisition International Magazine, we won Leading Veteran Welfare Outreach Nonprofit Organization for 2023. I did recently complete my book on my 3 tours in Iraq as a Marine rifleman. I've submitted it to publishers, and as soon as I have a release date, I will let you all know. All right, my camp, my nonprofit, homeless shelter for veterans, Camp Doghouse, can now be found at campdoghouse.org. So if you want to see what we're trying to do to fight veteran homelessness in the Central Florida area, check out campdoghouse.org. As always, you can check out my website, Sergeant WarDawg TV, and you can find me on Facebook at Sergeant WarDawg TV, YouTube at Sergeant WarDawg TV, and Instagram at Sergeant WarDawg TV. You can find me on X at Sergeant War. All right. Remember, I am a host for DV Radio. That's Dysfunctional Veterans Radio. We go live every Saturday night at 8 p.m. on the Barracks Talk podcast. So for those military members, you want to laugh and joke like you used to back in the barracks, tune in to dvradio.net on Saturdays at 8 p.m. All right, my second podcast, Bullets, Blades, and Hooks, is a podcast that goes out and interviews veterans organizations that seek to get veterans in the outdoors, whether that's hunting, camping, fishing, or shooting. Bullets, Blades, and Hooks goes out and interviews organizations that seek to get veterans back in the outdoors as a form of therapy. All right, I am a brand ambassador for Reaper Apparel Co. So you can use my code, Sergeant WarDawg TV, for 10% off of your entire order. For our fans of SHOT Show, in 2 weeks, I will have a media pass. Myself and my co-host, Grimo311, both Marines, we will have media passes to SHOT Show, which means we will be on the showroom floor showing you all the latest and greatest gear, guns, and gadgets in the outdoors world. All right, for Range Day at SHOT Show, we have been invited by Glock, Radiant Weapons, Horizon Firearms, Mitchell Defense, PTR Industries, and Cadix Defense. So we will be at these specific booths, or excuse me, these specific ranges on a SHOT Show Range Day, which is 2 weeks, about 2 weeks away. All right, we are media members of the National Shooting Sports Foundation, the NSSF, the organization that runs SHOT Show. We will soon be media members of POMA, the Professional Outdoor Media Association. For those of you that are predator hunters, you like to go after wild hogs or coyotes, this is the Ecotech Helion Plus Game Caller. All right, this will change the game for you so that you can acquire your target harvest when you're trying to go after coyotes or wild hog. All right, as always, if you're interested in advertising on Sergeant WarDawg TV, these are the outlets that you will see video podcast on, as well as where you can listen to the audio podcast. As always, I'm Sergeant WarDawg. This is the WarDawg Trail, episode 82. And without further ado, I bring to you to the stage the one, the only Byron, the Instructor. Welcome to the show, boss.
Thanks, man. Glad to be here. Man. Y'all got a lot going on, man. I'm honored to be on here.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. We're trying to just trying to be another outlet that people can be entertained by. You know what I mean? Whether it's guns, whether it's hunting, whether it's military, security, law enforcement, executive protection. Between myself and my co-host who isn't here, we try to bring a lot to the table if we can.
I mean, y'all doing it. That's a good thing, man. We need all the help we can get in the 2A, man.
Yeah, tell me about it. Now you, bro, I look up to. I'm a fan. I've been a fan for a while now. I'm glad I was able to reach out and get you onto the show today. I really wanted to commend you on your work in the 2A space. I'm really proud to see you, as well as the other influencers that I see you working with, and setting that positive example, man, giving us all something good to look at and to be inspired by, man. So I really appreciate everything that you do, Byron.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you for just checking me out, man. And that's one of the biggest things about the 2A, man. A lot of people don't understand the space, and a lot of the influencers in the space, like, where they make it so catty sometimes with some influencers, but it's just like, man, we all in the same space. We gotta fight for these rights. So we need to stick together.
Right. That's right. That's what's up, boss. That's what's up. Now, if you don't mind, go ahead and get us started. Let's talk about your background with firearms, if you don't mind.
So with me, it's so funny. I was introduced to guns at a young age, but not in a positive way, right? So when I was 15, 16, a lot of the OGs was like, man, you don't have no gun? I was like, nah. got these hands. Like when I need a gun for. They
Yeah.
was like, nah,
Yeah.
you don't understand. This is power. You don't want to be the only person without power, because if I had this and you don't, I could force my will upon you and you can't do nothing about it. I'm like, that's true. You can't box a gun. So
Right.
it
Right.
kind of made sense, but I'm like, the logic behind it was kind of flawed. So I'm like, okay. Then being young and dumb, you know, I was out there running around doing little stuff, trying to listen to the OGs. You know what I mean? Because I figured they wouldn't steer you in the wrong direction. Um, but I had a nice little wake up moment, and one of my other old heads was just like, "Man, stick to what you do." And I'm like, "Okay," because at the time I started doing music and I was rapping, and he was like, "Man, stop playing. Don't be a statistic. Do the right thing." So then, as I got older, I'm like, "Okay, cool. Do the right thing. Do the right thing." Then when I acquired my first firearm, I was like 23. And I'm like, all right, cool. Now I got a Glock. Now what? And then it was like, okay, so I have a gun. And you go to ranges, and a lot of the instructors don't look like me. Most people at the ranges don't look like us. You know what I mean? So then it was like, all right, cool. Well, I'm going to keep coming here. The staff seemed pretty cool. I'm going to keep coming and training. Then I said, you know what? I dabbled into the security field for a couple years. I'm like, man, it's time to do this armed security thing now. So me and one of my partners from middle school, we was like, let's start a security company. Well, I already had the vision, and I'm like, I'm gonna go get certified. I'm gonna become an agent under the state police, be out here in Pennsylvania working with a gun and protecting people. So I linked up with one of my middle school friends in the class, and I started telling him the vision. He was like, bro, let's do it. Now, along the course of that class, the instructor was black. A very notable guy in the Philadelphia area, Michael Hall. Because at one point, he was a former cop, and he used to run all of the federal building security. And then he asked at the beginning of the class, we got any shooters in here? It was me and another guy in my class, Jesse, that raised our hands. So then he went up on one of the first groups. He come back down. I'm like, how was it? He's like, I failed. I'm like, huh? He's like, I failed, bro. And I'm like, oh, man. Because they had us qualified with revolvers, and none of us really ran revolvers.
Right.
So then it was like, I go up in the next class. They like, oh, man, everybody in the class is down now because me and him was the only people that said we were shooters. And then he came down and was like, yeah, I failed. They like, uh-oh. So then I'm in the next group. We go up, and I pass. So one of the other people, I looked at their target. I was like, man, I remember I used to do stuff like that. I'm like, you got to do this, do this. And I was like, you going to pass the next time. So the instructor didn't say anything. Mike just kind of watched and ain't say nothing. So that day at the end of class, everybody's packing up. We getting ready to leave. He was like, yo, hang back for a minute. I want to talk to you. I'm like, oh, here we go. He going to tell me don't do my job. He going to tell me don't do my job. So we sitting there, and he was like, hey, man, so I seen you giving some pointers. And I'm like, yeah, I was just trying to help him out a little bit because he was, he wasn't doing that good. He was like, well, look, you were spot on. You just didn't know how to articulate it with the right terminology. He is like, but after he applied what you said, he passed. I was like, oh, that's what's up. That's good. And he said, you ever thought about becoming a firearms instructor? And I'm like, nah, I just want to run my security company. He was like, nah, you should do it. I'm like, okay. So I leave. Then the next day we graduated. So then we wait. The state police sent us our agent ID. And the next week it was the NBA playoffs. So he told us where it was going to be for the game. So me and my partner, we like, no, we pulling up on him. Like, he needs to know we serious. So we pull up. We go sit down. And he like, yo, man, have a seat. And he's like, y'all want something, just order it. I got it. And I'm just like, dang, yo, this is the position I want to be in, where I'm able to bring people to the table and be like, yo, get something to eat. Let's talk business. And then we were there like 5 minutes, and he's like, yo, did you sign up to become an instructor yet? I'm like, nah. He was like, I think you should do that. And I'm like, okay. So then me and my partner start going back into the security, asking him questions. So then you know how the NBA playoffs go. 2 days later, he going back there again. So we pop up. This time we walk up. I'm like, Mike, what's up? I go to shake his hand. I didn't even get a chance to sit down. He shook my hand and was like, did you sign up to become an instructor yet? And I'm like, oh, he's serious. He about to stop telling me where he at, so I can't pull up and pick his brain because I'm not listening. Message for those that are asking people for advice. When they're giving you advice and you're not taking it and they stop answering your calls, this is why.
True
So I'm
that.
like, no, I'm like, I tried to get in this one class, but it was full, but I'm getting in another one. He was like, all right, cool. Sit down, man. I'm like, wow, we dodged a bullet there. He's like, tell us go home. So after that, I did the instructor class, and then I really wanted to perfect my craft because it's like, okay, now I'm an instructor. And this is what I try to tell new instructors, right? Because everybody gets this title of instructor, and they're like, oh, yeah, I'm out here now. I'm going to teach these defensive pistol classes, and I'm doing this and doing that because you see everybody else doing it, and like, literally, you're not there yet. Slow down. Because when I first became an instructor, I only did one-on-ones. And my first 5 students was all people I knew. After that, I co-teach with one of my buddies that had just became an instructor, and we were doing 2 and 3 people lessons. So my first year, I spent more time sitting in people's classes and helping out for free than I did really trying to run and instruct my own classes. So me doing that, I built a better technique. I became more observant from watching other instructors that did it longer than me. And then after that year too, I was out here running. But then at the time, this is a minute ago, it's like 13, 14 years ago, maybe more. Um, and it was like you didn't have as many instructors then. So then it was like when people chose you, some people I took it with responsibility because the things that we're teaching people, this could be the reason you live or the reason you die. Right. So I took it serious. So I wasn't
Yeah.
out
Oh
teaching people
yeah.
certain things until I mastered my craft of this. And then it just kept snowballing and I learned more and I started working with shotguns, rifles. Then I became a combat pistol instructor. Then moved into the law enforcement instructor. But it's like it's always, for me, it was always a snowball to learn more and bring more to the table. And I see a lot of people that say, "Oh yeah, I'm a retired cop, man. I da 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 da," and I'm like, "Okay, cool story, bro." But I train cops too, and half of them trash. If we're being honest, you know what I mean? And one of the spaces that I found to be perfect for me with the training was my ability to see what people can do. Because some instructors are overbearing. And as soon as you hold the gun and it's not the way they told you to hold the gun, they're jumping down your throat. And I noticed this doesn't work, especially when you're training women. It's already intimidating for women. So I wanted to come up with an overall approach where I could teach guys, I could teach women, I could teach anybody with the same approach and be successful all the way across the board. Not where I could have a guy in the class with a woman and I'm explaining it a certain way, and the guy's like, yeah, and the woman's like, okay, and she's scared to intimidate to ask questions. So my thing was just perfecting my craft of having an approach where everybody can learn from me. And one of the things that the jewels that I got from Mike when I had to go research, because I had a person in my class that wasn't keeping up with everybody else. And then Mike had wrote me a note because at this time he already noticed I was doing my thing as an instructor. So he had wrote a little note and slid it to me. Wow. And because I understood that the lady was a little bit behind us because I'm an instructor. Everybody else in the class isn't really dialed in on that because Mike is throwing little jokes and he's moving us forward, but he's also at the same time explaining the part that he's breaking it down in more depth for the lady that didn't understand. And when I looked at the note, it said, always be able to bring a student up while keeping the rest of the class entertained. That way you don't lose anybody, but you keep everybody together. And I kind of watched his method for how he did that. And it was dope because he moved everybody forward, but never let her fall too far behind and was able to articulate stuff while he had some other people pondering on certain things. And I seen how he would give us a scenario to think about while he was talking to her about certain stuff. So the biggest thing for me is always remaining a student. And to this day, I get around people and people are excited to be around me. And they're like, yeah, man, I want to see what I'm going to learn from you. And I'm just like, man, you don't understand. I remember somebody told me a long time ago that the wise men will always learn more from the fool than the fool from the wise men. because the Wiseman is just a sponge. He's soaking up every bit of game he can get. And I mean, I've had the pleasure of shooting with SWAT guys and stuff like that, and to be able to be around in that environment and still get that respect, like, oh nah, this dude is serious. He good at what he do. So now one of the SWAT guys, if he sees me on the range and he might want to challenge me to something, he'll always start off talking trash as soon as he see me. And I'm like, he must want to compete today. Cause he try to make it a psychological thing. And he tell everybody else, like, he'll be like, yo, he's a great instructor. And he said he's on my level. He's like, soon as if I know I want to poke fun at him, we're gonna have a little competition, I'm starting the psychological part right away. Like, you got one of them cheating guns on you today? What we doing? Fair playing field, or you cheating? So soon as he hit me with that, I'm like, all right, we're gonna have a little competition today. But it's like, iron sharpens iron. So I just appreciate those opportunities. And, but like I was saying, it's just for me, I had to tailor my teaching style to what I seen being successful for a lot of other people and had to try it for myself. Like, my thing became, okay, how I always want to make sure my class is entertained, because now I got their focus, they're locked in, they're going to learn more. But then on top of that, I have the aspect that if somebody isn't catching up as far as everybody else, it's my job to bring them up, but not make it so blatant so the other students are like, come on, you didn't get it. And that was one of the tips I learned from Mike. So now I'll give certain people a test. Well, what would y'all do in this situation? So while they're sitting there talking, I don't know. I'm listening to them, but then I could bring this other person up. So now everybody's on the same page. So now they're jumping in the scenario like, how would I do this? Now everybody's engaged, but I was able to bring somebody up to speed without putting them on the spot in front of everybody. So everybody's like, man, we would have been moved on, but you don't get it yet.
Right.
And I found it being more successful that way. Like, what's saying, you get more bees with honey than vinegar?
Oh yeah.
So I just like the the honey approach. The vinegar leave a sour taste in people's mouth.
Exactly.
But me getting here, man, was just dedicated. Once I started doing it, because like I said, it wasn't something I wanted to do. Once I started doing it, things kind of came full circle, because I'm like, well, I wanted the security company, but at the end of the night when we go home, now what? Because these people are still out here, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So now it's like, these people are out here. What can I do to help them when I'm not around? And then I'm like, well, I'm a firearms instructor. I could build people up to have these skills. And yeah, they might not be where I'm at right now, but they have a tool that they could keep practicing at and become good enough to protect themselves.
True that.
And then that's where Byron.
Uh-oh. I lost your sound, boss. Hold on one second. I lost your sound. I'm gonna hit you on a private chat real quick. All right, we got just one little slight technical problem here. We'll be right back online. All right, we will get him right back. That was Byron, the instructor. This is episode 82 of the WarDawg Trail podcast. Again, I'm your host, Sergeant WarDawg, and this is the WarDawg Trail podcast.
My audio back now?
All right, you back, bro.
All right, cool. All right, here. Small technical difficulty.
Yeah.
Where was I when I cut off?
The last thing you were saying was
Everything coming full circle with training
yeah,
people. All right,
yeah,
yeah. So
yeah.
just bring everything full circle. So when I'm there, of course I'm the protector, but when I'm not there, you have the skills to be able to protect yourself, which is important. And that's where it all started. Now to the point I still do security details, but my security company been on ice for so long because I've been focusing on the training aspect. And here we are.
All right. That's what's up. Well, I'm proud of you, man. I'm like I said, like I told you, I'm a fan. Let's talk
Appreciate
about
it.
you as a social media influencer. When did you start posting online and whatnot? How long
You
ago
know
was
the
all
funny
that?
that the online thing was so funny because when I stumbled upon Instagram, I was still doing music stuff. So I was posting like music and things like that on Instagram. Then I switched it and I'm like, okay, so I have to switch from uh the just chaos Instagram. I switched it to Byron the Instructor. Is my audio back again?
Yeah, you're still here. I
All right,
got you.
cool. Um, so it was like I was still doing the music, but I'm like, I'm gonna switch my Instagram and start doing training stuff. So I became an influencer by accident because for me, yeah, literally, like I was just posting stuff like, all right, I'm shooting this gun, let me show some video. Um, let me show some videos from me doing classes. Let me show because I would like to show people's progression. So for me, I was just posting videos and I was getting more people like, yo, man, I want to train with you. So then I just kept posting stuff. Then I'm doing little fun stuff at the range and all of that. And it's like it just kept snowballing. And I'm just like, oh wow, more people start following me. And then I just kept doing it because it was for me, it wasn't that serious. It was like, let me just throw some stuff online. And then one of my ex-girlfriends was like, yo, and this is years ago, she was like, yo, you got to start taking this serious. She is like, you're a public figure. I was like, no, I'm not. She was like, no, you are. I was like, I'm not a public figure. I'm just a guy that shoots guns, posts little cute videos, that's all. And she was like, you don't get it yet, but one day you will. And then this group had wanted me to come speak on the panel behind enemy lines. I say that because we was going up to New York a couple years ago. And my mom and my dad was like, oh, that's pretty dope. They want you to come speak on the panel. My son was excited. And I'm like, yeah, we're going behind enemy lines, but let's go. So we go. And I'm speaking on the panel. And my son was actually my videographer. So he got one of my cell phones. So he's in the crowd recording clips.
Okay.
So that was pretty dope. And then afterwards, I'm like, all right, cool. We're talking to people, and they're like, yeah, everybody that's in the crowd, y'all can come talk to because it was me, it was a couple other guys up there. Um, and we had a lawyer on the panel. And all of us met each other in the green room before we came out on stage for the event. So we was all busting up back there. So we come out, and then I'm still thinking like I'm just Byron. I'm just a guy to shoot some guns, post some videos on YouTube. That's all. So then afterwards, my son come up because I'm kneeling down on the stage. I was shaking people's hands, and I'm like, and a couple people just walked off stage. Around the time I was already talking to people, and then my son came up. I'm like, yo, what you think? Here's I got some good video, Dad. It was good. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then when I was standing, I was like, come on. So he came around to the side of the stage, and I was gonna come. I was like, you don't want to come up? He was like, nah. I'm like, all right, cool. So I come off the stage, and then some people came up and was like, oh man, that's your dad. And he was like, yeah. And it was like, your dad is so cool. And it was like, dude, we've been following you on Instagram for like the last year. We're trying to get with you and do a training class. And I was like, well, I'm never coming to New York. I was like, y'all can meet me in Jersey at best, but I was like, I'm always in Philly. And they was like, oh, okay. And it was like, yeah, man, we've been watching you for years. Like, and then they start bringing up videos and stuff. And they're like, yo, your son got a little bit bigger. I remember you posted a video with him shooting. And I'm sitting there like, then I'm thinking about what my ex-girlfriend had told me, like, no, you're a public figure. And I'm like, Now it's starting to hit. I'm like, okay, that's a little different. And then I'm talking to my son,
Yeah.
like, what you think? He was like, Dad, that's cool. People know who you are. And all you really do is, like you say, you shoot guns and you train people. And I was like, yeah. He's like, that's cool. And I'm like, that was all I needed. My son thought I was cool, the coolest guy in the world. That's all I needed for me. That was it. But then I started taking it a little bit more serious. Like, all right, cool. I'ma still be me, and I am still me 100%. I don't think that I don't do anything to do it just because of social media. I'm everything that people get on videos is me in real life. Like everybody that knows me, I play around a lot. So when people see me doing videos and I see something like, okay, like when I did the video off of bongos. And I'm sitting there with the machine gun and the other gun, like going with the beat, shooting to the beat. I just happened to see Twister and Gun Drummer, and I'm like, oh, they trying to put a little sauce on their videos. Let me see what I got. And then I did that. Then when we were at Iraq Vet 8888, my buddy Sully, he was like, man, we should do a Hoochie Daddy video. I'm like, nah, not today. I was like, we're gonna bring it out though. And
Let
then
me
I
ask
happened
you
to
about
see,
that. Are you and Sully the Shooter on the same team? Right?
Yep.
All right. So you and Sully are together.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Okay. All right. Gotcha.
Yeah, man. So Sully, shout out to Sully the Shooter.
Yeah. I
but
follow you
it's
both. I follow both of you, man. I see good content coming out of both of y'all, man.
Man, listen, we got some skits that we're gonna be doing during SHOT Show week. It's gonna be crazy. So a lot of stuff, like that's one of the things, like when I link with certain people, like, so you see me, I connect with a lot of influencers that I've met in real life, and it's like those are my guys, like Survival Sisters, my man Fred. I remember when I moved to
Yeah.
Georgia, he was one of the first people to embrace it. Like when me and Defensive Unicorns, like when we stepped into Georgia, he was like, yo, y'all, yeah. He was like, yo, welcome to Georgia. So he gave us the red carpet rollout. And then, you know, I met a lot more people in Georgia with Fred. I met Mr. Tactical Snowflake, who does the survival games. Then I've met my buddy Aero Tactical, my man JP, who's currently in the military right now. We be trying to get him out for events, and he be like, man, I'm on a mission. I FaceTime him, and he have his face all painted with knives. I'm like, what are you doing? He was like, I'm outside, bro. I was like, I see. Then my man Will, Black Cell Tactical. My man Juan, Pew Culture, Jay the Shooter. So I've met a lot of cool people that I really deal with, like some of the guys over John and Sher Michael at Guns Out TV. So
Yeah.
with so many people that I managed to meet and connect with. But literally the influencer thing, it was just funny because when it first started, it was just I only really dealt with everybody that's with Train to Fight. So it was mainly when the ball really started rolling, it was mainly just me and Danny from Defensive Unicorns. And then every time I had a situation, like so, and I think this is where my camp and people around me know if I'm gonna win, we're all gonna win. Like me and Sully was on the phone. I had to take my car to the dealership, and Sully was on the phone cracking up because this guy I'm going to pay, and the guy's like, "Hey, you remember that guy Pat earlier that said he asked you about the gun stuff?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Dude, you wanted here to sit down?" He was out here fanning out. He was going through your Instagram like, "Look, this dude is so cool." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm like, well, where he at?" I was like, "Maybe you want to do a selfie or something." So Sully's laughing like, "Yo, bro, you really want to get celebrity thing?" I'm like, "Nah, bro. They just see me on Instagram. It's cool. It is what it is." And he went to get lunch or something. I was moving around. So usually with my car, oil change is like $130 with an oil change and tire rotation. But since his buddy was so, you know, impressed and following me so much, they did my whole thing for like $40. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. I'm like, but I was like, let me get the package. And then the package was supposed for like 3 oil changes, 3 tire rotations, was supposed to be like 230, 240, something like that. They gave it to me for like 180. So it was like, it was dope because now it's like, dang, man, influencer thing actually, people noticing you and they see you in real life and they like, yo, let me take care of him. Cause I'm talking to him like, yeah, man, you shoot guns. He was like, not a lot, but why? What's up? He's like, I felt like that was going somewhere. I was like, man, listen, get with me, man. Come on and shoot some guns. You know, become a better protector for you and your family.
Right.
And he was like, dude, then the other guy came back and I'm like, what's up, man? I appreciate your support. And he's like, yeah, man, he was saying something about the machine gun. So shout out to Pat. If you see me post clips of this, Bill and Pat at the dealership, yeah, appreciate y'all. But yeah, like it was really dope, man. And I think that's one of the things for me. Like if I move, I don't want to just be the only guy in the room. Like you get certain camps where you have all of these influencers around this one person, but all they're doing is lifting up this one person. It's like
Right.
a prime example. Like let's say we got a G Unit thing going on. They want to make me 50 Cent. And then my Lloyd Banks, my Tony Yayos, and the Young Bucks is just putting me on a pedestal when it's their time. And I'm like, nah, we're a unit, bro. So when I walk in the room and people know who I am, oh, that's cool. When a company called, when a couple companies that I've been partnering with suppressors, they're like, dude, do you want to do a meet and greet? Yes, I'll be there with my team. So when y'all start seeing me post videos about meet and greets, it's not gonna be, yo, come see Byron the Instructor. It's gonna be like, yo, me and Sully the shooter are going to be at blase blah, because that's my guy. So we move out and do a lot of stuff together. So and that's one of the things, then the partnerships that I have with people in real life. Like, so you'll see me pulling people into businesses, like business deals that I'm working on. So that's one of my things, man. It's never really about me. I'm trying to bring it back to the village, man. It's like the military mindset. Even though I've never been to the military, like, well, once I'm in, we all in, man.
Yeah.
Once I get
Yeah.
in the room, I'm gonna leave the door unlocked.
That's what's up.
You know what
That's,
I mean?
yeah, that's love right there, bro. That's real.
So that's one of my things. Like anytime somebody usually see me, if you see my name down on something, if anybody from my team is around, they're gonna be with me. So like you pull up at this meet and greet, you might see me and Sully. You might see me, Sully, and 3 or 4 other people. You might see my young boy Shooter Ready Kinetics. He'll probably, if he meets you in person, he's probably going to talk your head off because he's also a Marine Corps vet. So
All right.
when I see him get around these Marines, it just be a talk. I just kind of sit back and observe like that. I ain't part of the cool kids club because I ain't served, but if I would have been in the Marines.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
But
Now,
that's why it is, man. I just keep a lot of my team around me when I'm doing stuff. So
about what year did you say you started to go take everything online?
man, I probably started posting stuff, gun stuff in like 2015.
Okay. All
And
right. So you've been at it.
yeah, and it's like, but it was all for fun. And I mean, even now, I still do it. Like when we was at IV 8888, I seen these shorts, and I'm like, I'm just gonna do this video because I like to play games. So we did a whole tactical. We did a Hoochie Daddy video, and it actually went up. And I was surprised that thing went up. And then me and people was like, yo, and it was so funny because Defensive Unicorns was like, really? You got a whole lot of leg out right now. I'm like, yeah, I'm showing some leg, man. We making some deals happen today. You got to show a little thigh. That's all. So me and Sully out there playing around. And it was fun because all of these people, brands that I had dealt with before that I seen there, I'm over there just acting like a goofball talking to Sully about something, air racking the gun. And one of their guys was like, wait, hold on. He starts recording. And when I last checked with my team, they would, because I was on there, because some people was trying to troll because they didn't get the idea of the video. And they, you know how the internet is. Everybody's a super operator and they're perfect when they're on that keyboard. So I went on and was like, dude, you're taking this too serious. We were out here playing around and I was talking about John Wick and movie stuff. And then I said something, and then so what they did is they reported my comment for bullying. So then I couldn't comment no more. But then, of course, you got my team, Guy Guns and Gadgets, my boy Ojo, my other guy, Red Wine, Armed in Black. They're on there now. They're trolling everybody that was trying to troll me. So for the company, this was probably their second biggest post on their profile. They had one post that at that time, they had one post that had more views and comments than the one with me. I don't know now, it could have been more because they probably got more exposure from us commenting on it and sharing it. So it was just like, man, I want my village to go wherever I go. Like, it's just better that way. That's what the top is only lonely when you're not around real ones. Cause when you go into the top, man, you start noticing people start showing their true colors, and it's like, oh, okay, you go over there then. Okay.
Yeah.
You go over there. Then as you keep rising, you notice that's why they say everybody can't come. And it's not that you change, it's just that some people aren't ready for the growth in those opportunities yet. Or you'll have people that want certain opportunities because of the work that you put in, but they don't want to put the work in. And it's like, all right, yeah, I could put you in position for this, but you got to start doing this, this, and this. Well, you're doing it. Yeah, that's why I'm getting it. But if you want to do it too, I could vouch for you, but I'm not vouching for you if I don't see you putting the work in.
True that.
And that just is what it is. Because I mean, and even me, I slacked on posting now in the beginning of the year because I got some things I'm cooking up for SHOT Show. I'm getting some ideas. Me and Sully was on the phone. I gave him a skit. He was like, bro, where did that come from? I was like, you just said you ready for SHOT Show? And I said, yeah. And then the skit just popped in my head. So we're gonna do this when we get there. He was like, yo, you're crazy, bro. It's like, where did these ideas come from? And I'm like, I'm just a creative person. I was like, so something might pop in my head and I'm gonna be like, it's not polished yet. Let me polish it, then I'll tell you about it. It'll just hit me and I'll just spit it out and be like, yo, we could do this like this. And then Sully gets it because he sees the vision, like, and he trusts my experience in the industry of shooting. So a lot of times I'm like, Sully, we need to do this and do that. He's like, all right, cool. He don't question it because he knows that I'm not going to put him in a position that I wouldn't want to be in. I want to set everybody up around me to win. You know what I mean? When people be like, oh yeah, we need da-da-da-da. I need a woman that could do defensive uniforms. Hands down, defensive uniforms. Because people don't understand how hard that woman works. But that woman puts work in. And even when people was like, oh, well, because no. That woman puts work in. Give her her flowers. She puts work in. Because a lot of times with her, people seeing her growth and they're like, well, you came out of nowhere. That's because y'all didn't see the work she was putting in behind the scenes to get where she wanted to be. You know what I mean? And it'd be funny. Like, it's so... And even with the influencers thing, it's so funny because it's influencers that I help get certain things going. And then I notice, I'll be like, now it's like, I help them out, you get a little situation, now you don't respond to my DMs no more. Like, oh, okay.
For real.
Yeah, but I mean, look, it is what it is. But it's like, show me who you are. You ain't got to show me twice. I get it.
I feel you.
I don't regret putting you in a position because that's just me. I ain't going to block my blessings by being spiteful. So I'm going to put you in position. But the way that you move, when I helped you get there, and I don't tell people I help people get there, I know. So that's all it needed to know. But if you move the way you move, you're not going to stay in that position long because you're going to mess yourself up. And then when you come back, I can't help you now. Because you showed me who you are, and I believe you. But that's another thing. This influencer space, man. I think the best thing about it is having a voice. As long as you're giving out positivity, people literally respect it and appreciate it. Like, I've had people DM me, like, saying, like, bro, man, I respect what you do, man. I just got a lot going on, and I'm ready to hang it up. And I'm like, why you about to hang it up, man? Life always gets tough. We all fighting battles, man, but you gotta keep fighting. I was like, if the battle was tough, that just means God know you one of the strongest soldiers. That's all. True, you gotta keep going. And then it'd be crazy because I'm like, and I always wonder, like, what was it about my personality where people felt comfortable to come to me out of everybody. And I was like, maybe that's because they never hear me bad talk anybody, because I don't. It's been people that
That's
took
what's up.
shots at me. I don't take shots back. I don't have time. I don't feed into it. I play the Jay-Z of it. You go ahead and diss me. I'm not responding.
That's what's
Like,
up.
thanks for the promotion of bringing me up, but yeah, you're not gonna get a response. But I think that's one of the biggest things for me, being in this influencer instructor space where, man, I've had some crazy situations. Like when I work with the guys from Walk the Talk America about mental health and people that commit suicide, and literally like telling them a story I had where I had a student come talk to me. We was face to face, and I was in the middle of running a qualification, and this dude told me that he tried to take himself out. Now
Really?
I'm consoling him, but then I'm giving the class stuff to do to practice, so they're not distracted by the fact that I'm tuned in and now I'm here. Because this needed my immediate attention. You just told me that you tried to end it all and you about to leave here with a gun.
Yeah.
Now we gotta talk right now.
Damn right.
Cause you're not going to leave and then I get a phone call later like, oh, you ain't gonna believe what happened when this person got home. I'm like, huh? But now, I took that time, we talked, and it was crazy. When I was talking to a couple of the guys, shout out to the guys that Walk the Talk America. Mike, oh my God, he's gonna kill me. I can't think of his name right now. Oh my God, and I done blew your phone up so many times asking questions. But I told them about the situation in person in the SHOT Show last year, because it had happened right before SHOT Show. And I was telling them about it, man. It brought tears to their eyes. And they were just like, dude, that is so powerful that you were there for that person and they trusted you with that type of information. Like, you could have red flagged them. You could have got their guns took. They could have, you know what I mean? There's so many things that could have happened. But you were there without the negativity of red flagging them and all of that. I was able to provide guidance and help, especially with men, man, because mental health is the struggle, because so many people are like, be tough, you got it, be tough, man up. But like, as men, look, we go through it too.
Yeah.
And it's even worse when we feel like we don't have the outlet, you know what I mean? So I'm glad that I could be that outlet for people and be that voice and, man, keep people from hanging it up, put it that way.
Check it out. This is gonna be my first SHOT Show, my first one ever. So what advice could you tell me to prepare myself?
Wear some comfortable shoes.
Yeah.
Because you are it's all walking non-stop. You're just gonna be walking. Get water, because you're gonna be talking a lot too, so you're gonna need water. Because every time a SHOT Show, all I remember them giving out was beer. But get water. Water. Tons of water.
All right. How about
and be ready to walk, man. Hold on, wait. Now my audio was out. Hold on, wait. Say something. I can't hear you now.
Oh, for real?
Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
This is crazy. Now I can hear you. Oh, so you can hear me. I can't hear you though. This is crazy. Hold on. What? Yo, it's technology, man. These phones is acting crazy. I don't know. I still can't hear you.
All right.
Yo, this is crazy. Technology is everything until it does not work right. But you can still hear me. Well, let's see. All right, got you.
All right, this is the WarDawg Trail, episode 82, with your host, Sergeant WarDawg. We have Byron, the instructor, on the mic. We have just a small issue, and he will be right back on. We will continue the conversation. All right, here he is.
There we go. There we
All
go.
right.
Now,
How about can you tell us what range day is like?
honestly, this is gonna be my first industry range day.
Okay.
So I don't know what to expect, but I did hear that it's it's a nice smooth pace event where you don't get to shoot a lot, but you get
Hold on. Hold on. We just lost your sound. Damn.
all right. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, there you are.
All right. So I didn't go. I know one thing. The
My
industry
bad. I
range
didn't
day.
I didn't hear none of what you said after I asked you what range day was like.
Okay. So industry range day. This is gonna be my first one this year. Cause at first I'm like, I just want to go make deals. I shoot guns all the time. I just want to go make deals. Um, so this is my first actual media range day, which is gonna be interesting. But from what people told me, they like it's a lot of cool guns up there. Just kind of figure out what companies that are gonna be there that you possibly want to work with, so you could go hit those booths first. But talk to people at Beretta because their private range day, amazing. They give free
Yeah.
gifts that are dope. And then after the range day, they shut it down if you stay and they have a happy hour where you get food, couple drinks, and they
That's
take you
what's
back to the
up.
Venetian. They bust you there. You have a full range day. You shoot. They have a little shooting competition, and you stay for happy hour, and then you come back. So you get food, get a little drinks. Then you come back. You already vibing. Then it's like you figure out what you want to do the rest of the night. I'll probably be
Nice.
calling it a night early because we have to figure out what we're going to do for a media range day the next day. Um, Me and Sully got to talk about that because we didn't even get a rental car because every shot show was just so nuts where it was easier to just Uber and then try and drive over to the Venetian, pay
Okay.
for parking at the Venetian. It was just a nightmare. So we didn't even book a rental car. We might do something later or network with some other people that's going and throw them some gas money or something, had them come scoop us. But it's going to be interesting for sure.
That's what's up. Can
I'm
you talk
I'm
to us about um what was it like? You said that first time you were so interested in trying to make deals instead of the range. What was it actually like your first time talking to a company and being successful with a deal?
um what's crazy? My first shot show, it was really overwhelming because when you're a gun enthusiast and you go in this, and I never understood like how you take a kid to the store and you be like, listen, you're not getting nothing. Don't ask. And then you walk them in this store and it's like toys and they see stuff everywhere. That's what
Yeah.
SHOT Show is like before adult gun enthusiasts. And I mean, you see all of this cool stuff. Then they got the law enforcement and military stuff where you see the gas masks and you see the smoke bombs, the flashbangs, and I'm just like, ooh. It's like then you look over here, it's rifles. Then it's like, oh my god. Then you see knives. Then it's suppressors. It's so much stuff that my first year I was all over the place. I talked to companies, but I'll be honest, I didn't get no deals my first SHOT Show. That was in 2020. I didn't get no deals. Then of course 2021 they canceled it because of COVID. 2022, I had acquired a contract, a corporate contract, and it was like go to SHOT Show and not be able to meet this, or skip SHOT Show and get to the money. So I skipped SHOT Show and got to the money. And then I went again last year in 2023, which was amazing. Walked away from that working with a couple companies, had an ammo sponsorship. Um, Actually, no, I'm sorry. I met with a couple companies, not well at SHOT Show. I didn't get the deal at SHOT Show, but I met with another company and I got a deal at another event. And then so last year or 2023 SHOT Show, then I was in there. My approach was different. So now, and this what and it'd be funny because a lot of people are like, yeah, I'm an influencer, and a lot of us are. You know what I mean? So it was just like, okay, cool. So now, when the people are like, yeah, man, well, what's your following on this platform? I'm like, yeah, it's this. You do YouTube? Yeah, I do YouTube. What's this? Yeah. And then I'm telling them numbers. I'm like, listen, man, on my TikTok, this is my conversion. On my Instagram, because they keep playing with my algorithm. So my engagement rate with them is this to this, depends on how they're acting towards me. I was like, but my Instagram lives have been untouched. Knock on wood. Then I was talking about TikTok, YouTube. My YouTube, I actually built that up thanks to Sully. Sully and my man Armed and Black and Ojo, God Guns and Gadgets, gave me some pointers. Then I started running my YouTube up. I just haven't been consistent, so it started dropping again. But I'm gonna get back to YouTube, playing around with it. But man, the deals. So the approach for deals, I see just building value. Because like I see, like, yeah, you're an influencer, and that's dope because people follow you. But you could be an influencer just because you're funny. It doesn't mean that you have something of substance. You could be an influencer of humor, and you can make
Right.
people laugh.
Right.
But what is your approach to convert people that are watching into other things? Like my man Armed and Black. That's why I love him, and he's part of my camp, and he does 2A comedy. He's the 2A Ha Ha Davis. I've coined him
Hey,
that.
I'm in talks with him to get him on the show. Be honest with you, I hit him up just
Yes,
today.
yes, that is my guy, and I actually text him for you. That's my guy, and his approach to the 2A is a lot of people were following his page that don't even like guns. But this dude will make skits and they are hilarious. I did a skit with him. Like, this dude is super talented when it comes to making skits. But then what he said was, okay, I need to let people know that I really could shoot too. So then he started doing more training on his page because everybody's seen the skits and they're like, okay, but can Funny Man shoot? So he is like, all right, bro, I gotta get out here and start letting people know that I can shoot too. So then he started doing that. And like he been sizzling, man. When I say I don't want to give it up because if you interview him, I want him to be able to break some of the stuff. But you'll be surprised from meeting him and people see his content, and then you talk to him and see about his background, overall educational and professional, and you're just like, yo, this dude, you wouldn't expect it. So yeah, my guy Redwine, really good guy, man. Super funny in real life and on them skits. But it's just like, you want to have a solid community of what you influence, but it's a lot of people that are influencers, right? And this is the funny thing because I know people that are okay influencers, right? Where you might see them, they might have 5,000 followers, but in real life, off of social media, these dudes are getting like free guns that cost like 3,500, 4,000 a piece. They don't have a big following. They might get 20 likes and 2 comments, but in real life, their influence is heavy. So for people that's watching this, the social media influence is nice, but trust me, if you got that real world influence, that matters too.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I don't want people to get too caught up on it. Like, well, yeah, man, listen, don't get caught up in these followers because it will drive you crazy. It used to get me because, man, Instagram would do so much stuff. But then I started noticing what they was doing to Black Rambo, and that's my guy. I said, man, you can't make social media everything because you're still putting it up to them when they start playing with algorithms and they can mess with your money. I remember I was working on a deal and it didn't stop my deal, but my engagement on here went from like 9% down to like 0.50. And that's just because Instagram chose to block me, and I seen what they were doing with certain stuff. And you know, my buddy was like, man, you should just verify your page. I was like, I could, but it doesn't matter anymore. I was like, because now, and if you subscribe and you got a blue check, that's cool. But I know I could have probably got my verification badge before they did that. I just didn't care enough to do it because I'm like, all right, the stupid blue check, it doesn't matter. Because like I said, mentally, I'm like, I'm not no celebrity. I don't care about a blue check. And now that I could probably still get the blue check for free, it doesn't matter if somebody could subscribe and get a blue check. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, and it's cool. Don't get me wrong. If you verified your page, that's cool. That's dope. But for me, it's just, like I tell companies, man, how people like, yeah, I'm an influencer and blah, 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 blah. Man, I tell people I'm an influencer last. I'm an educator first. So
Gotcha.
usually that's not what typically what companies want to hear. They're like, whoa, influencer last. Yeah. But I'm going to make some cool videos with your product. People are definitely going to see it. I'll probably get with my man, folks like Sully, and we'll do skits and play around, and people are going to see your product. We'll tag you in it. But I'm really outside. I'm outside from coast to coast. I was out here doing classes in California. I actually got to reach out to somebody because one of my folks at Redstone Firearms to try and set something up because the one range I was using in California, they didn't switched up because a bad judgment call. Well, I can't say a bad judgment call. An instructor not being specific with instruction, and then a student did something that wasn't smart, but I can't say it wasn't smart, right? Because he didn't know. He really genuinely didn't know, because if he didn't know, he wouldn't have did that. But he decided, the instructor was wrapping up, and the guy asked, could he shoot? And the instructor let him. And I think what happened is he went and shot a steel plate with a rifle from like 7 yards. Now, yeah, you know and I know that didn't end well, but the ricochet hit him, and he ended up bleeding a little bit, or a lot of it. All I know is blood was lost. And the range got scared, and apparently to teach there now, you pretty much have to complete a book. One of the companies I work with that do stuff there, they said when they dropped their paperwork off, it was like 65 pages.
Damn.
And I'm like, I don't live in California, and I'm planning on doing maybe 1 or 2 classes a year in California. So for me to maybe do a couple classes a year in California, that's a strong ask. And then you got to get extra insurance just from a provider that they like just to do that. And I'm like, maybe I can see if their provider will give me an event insurance just for that day. But it was an eye opener, man, because instructors, we have to manage people without them feeling micromanaged, but we can't assume that everybody knows what we know.
Right.
And I mean, the instructor might not have seen the dude walk up to do that, because in his mind, it's like, well, yeah, I made everybody shoot from back there. So he might have thought, okay, he's going to continuously shoot from back there. And he didn't, and, whoops. Now, everything got a little worse, but, yeah, I mean, just, influence the right things. And as instructors, always be sponges, and we can always learn a little bit more, different technique, better way to do stuff.
Do you feel it's hard to ask a gun company for a gun?
Oh, not at all. I used to, right? I used to. I'm like, damn, I'm about to ask for a gun? Oh, man. And then I was talking to a company at an event, and my buddy comes up, and I said, yo, look at these optics, bro. He said, I said, these drones is cool. Man, it's the same window as the SRO. I said, with that price tag? And I said, yo, man, y'all, I got to talk to y'all. I need one of these. He said, and the guy was like, yeah, let's talk about it. He said, talk about it. Bro, that's Byron, the instructor. My man got going on 50,000 followers. Y'all better give me my optic. Just like that. no holding back. And I'm sitting there like, am I too laid back? Do I need to be more aggressive? And a lot of times it's crazy because I don't care about going at a company. And I went from, I'll put it this way, and I'm not gonna name drop them right here right now because we're still doing some more stuff, but I owned 2 suppressors, integrally suppressed gun, and a regular suppressor. I seen a company that provided value at another event. I said, because I also own a Type 7 FFL with SOT. So I said, okay, I like what y'all playing. I'm gonna give y'all a play. I want to see what this do. I purchased this one. And I said, and I bought it because it was 30 cal can. I could use it on, handguns, rifles, all that. So then somebody else on social media seen me tag the company, and they're like, dude, what's up? I noticed you didn't tag us in some of these other posts. I was like, yeah. So they DM me, and I'm like, yeah, I wasn't going to DM y'all. Like, I spent money. I'm not going to spend money and then market you guys. He said, call this guy. He said, shoot him an email. I said, cool, thanks. I go back to my business. I'm doing some stuff. And he happened to catch it while I was on there and sent me a DM, so it was right there at the top, and I seen it. And he said, yo, did he email you back? I'll go in his office right now if he didn't. I'm like, no, I didn't even email him. But go talk to him in an hour. I'm going to send that email right now. I sent him an email. That company sent me 3 suppressors.
Free?
Yeah, free. So
Damn.
then I went and talked to, I was at another event, and I'm talking to these people. I'm like, oh yeah, I like this. I said, man, I might be able to do some work with y'all, like what y'all got going on. I told them some of the stuff I had going on. They said, yo, call this guy. Here's his card. Call me. I shot him an email, and he said, okay, yeah, let's work together. He's like, let's start our relationship here. And I said, cool, I like it. We can start it there. I said, but to be honest, like, that's only going to work for people that already had suppressors and da-da-da-da. He said, you know what? You're right. Let me go talk to the managers. He emailed me back, was like, dude, I got a suppressor coming your way. He was like, I talked to him, and what you said made perfect sense. They're giving you a suppressor. So he emailed me again, was like, yo, because I followed him. So I'm looking at some of the videos, and they did a video. I was in the video when we was at IV 8888. And after that, they was like, dude, I was like, this, like, yo, we're working on a new one. And I looked, I was like, oh, is it this one? They was like, yeah. I said, yo, I want one. He said, dude, they're in production. Once this first run comes off, one is coming to you guaranteed.
Nice.
Then I work with another company. I told him what I do. So thanks, because UPS was acting scary yesterday. So F UPS for the moment, because they didn't want to give me my suppressor. They came out earlier than their window, and they took my can, and I couldn't pick it up yesterday. So I'm going to get that can tomorrow. And so you figure in total, long story short, I was in 2023, 2024 now, thanks to UPS. Or no, thanks to somebody else, because it took forever to switch it. But no disrespect, I love the ATF.
You gotta throw that in there. You got
right. So I'm starting my 2024 off with that one new suppressor that I was gonna get last year, but I received 5 free suppressors last year.
Damn, that's what's up, bro.
And this is between July and December. Just July to December. Actually, no, it wasn't July. I went on vacation in July. August to December. August to December, I got 5 free suppressors. 4 regular suppressors, 1 integrally suppressed system.
Congratulations, boss. You getting it.
Thank you. And it's just, man, the thing is, you can't be scared to ask for products, but you just have to explain to them why they're giving it to you.
Okay, look, I've heard that part, but then I've also heard some people say you shouldn't ask because everybody else is going to be asking. So which one do you think?
Well, it depends on, do you want to work with them if you see value? If I see value in what they have, I'm going to say, listen, let's work something out. I need one of these. What can we do? And then, I mean, and if a company says, okay, we're going to work with you, this is the biggest thing that I want to tell and to explain to people on this platform. Nothing is free. Everything you receive has somebody's job attached to it. Because if all of these companies are just giving things away,
they ain't making money.
They're not making money, and eventually somebody gonna be like, bro, for marketing, you're just giving away stuff. That's the budget. You're giving away stuff.
Right.
Like, why? What are you giving it away for? And this is the thing. Usually when you get stuff, they make you sign contracts for what you're gonna do, right? We expect you to post it this amount of times. I didn't get none of that. So it just depends on how you do what you do. But at the same time, you got to understand, brands will also watch how you interact and how you do things. So they probably looked and was like, oh, this boy show off. He's entertaining. People are gonna see this. On the influencer side. But remember, I'm an influencer last. I'm an educator first. So my real life influence is heavy. The social media influence is kind of decent because now people know me that wouldn't have known me before. And that's cool. That's dope. But
right on.
The influence got to match on and offline.
Gotcha. Can you go ahead and let everybody know where they can find you online?
Yes, man. The biggest platform is Instagram. You can find me at Byron _the instructor. And you can also find me at Byron the instructor all together. That's my backup page. Follow both. On TikTok, you can find me at Byron _the instructor. On YouTube, you can find me at Train 2 Fight LLC, which is my training company. So you can find us on YouTube. Check us out. Subscribe. We're gonna have some craziness going on. Those are the only platforms I'm really. You can follow me on X too at Byron _the instructor. I need to get better with that one, but yeah, follow me on Threads too. That's Byron _the instructor also. I'm just that because I'm copying a lot of stuff from Instagram, and sometimes I throw something exclusive on the platform. I ain't put on all of them, and I got some podcasts coming too. It's not gonna be gun stuff. It's gonna be a little spicy. It's gonna be some gun stuff, but it's gonna be a little spicy too. We're gonna talk about some crazy stuff, all real life topics. We're gonna talk about marriage. We're gonna talk about mental health. We're gonna talk about sex. We're gonna talk about a lot. But stay tuned.
That's what's up, man. I can't wait to tune in, boss.
That's
I can't wait to tune in.
We're gonna have to get you on there. We might actually be shooting some of those in Vegas, so we might hit you up and you pull up, and we do some of those in person.
All right, then, man. That'll work. I didn't tell you for a SHOT Show. Well, maybe I did tell you. I'm gonna have a co-host with me, so I'm gonna have another former Marine sergeant that I went to Iraq 3 times with, and nice. So together, I mean, these last couple years it's just been me, but I am bringing somebody else on, just like you said you brought on Sully. So yeah, it'd be real nice for us all to link up though, man. That'd be dope.
Oh man, let's do it. I'll DM you my number, so we can definitely connect.
All right, then, that'll work, boss. That'll work. Look, this has been episode 82 of the WarDawg Trail podcast. We have had Byron, the instructor, on the show, telling you what life is really like as an influencer in the 2A gun space. Byron, thank you for coming on the show, boss. Thank you for all the knowledge you dropped, all the wisdom, all the future influencers that you helped and that you've opened the eyes of. Thank you so much for coming on the show, boss.
Anytime. We might have to do a part 2.0 live and in person in Vegas, man.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan, man. We could do it, bro. We could do it. I have my cameras in. All right, that'll work. Cause we'll all have the cameras and microphones, so we can do some.
Oh yeah,
We can definitely.
Oh
do
yeah,
some.
let's make that happen.
All right, then. Salute, bro. Salute. Thank you again for coming on the show, boss. You have a good one now.
You too.
All right. All right. All right. This has been episode 82 of the WarDawg Trail podcast. Salute.
All I know is war. All I know is shoot. All I want is more, but I got some things to do. I'm a dog of war. Hell's what I've been through. I'm a dog of war. I did it all for you. I'm a soldier, I'm a warrior. Got an emblem on my cover. And ask me what I did for ya. I put the trash deep down under. Yeah, I'm a dog of war. Hell's what I've been through. I'm a dog of war. I did it all for you. Yeah.
Put some time in the place, man. I just needed some space. All the pain show in my face and my heart starts to...
That's the show for today, everyone. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with an all-new show. And remember, you can listen to us again and again. The podcast of this radio show is available right after we go off the air tonight, anywhere that you can get your podcast episodes. And thanks for joining us today. I'd like to take a moment to talk about something close to my heart. Military Broadcast Radio is doing incredible work to support our veterans and bring their voices to the world. They rely on your generous donations and your dedicated volunteer hours to make it happen. I encourage you to consider supporting NBR in any way, form that you can. Use this QR code that's attached to the picture, or you can go to our website at mbradio.us. That's Mike Bravo Radio.us to learn more about how you can donate or volunteer even just an hour a week from your home. Help make a difference in the lives of our veterans, because once again, we're all here for you and not for us. We're giving our veterans a voice.